Right, and she is actually very terrible. She has one look, and it's
Do you think that's her, or do you think it's the director or producers, whoever, telling her to do this?
Because I've seen it in multiple films that she's been in. She only has one look. She has no emotions. She acts like the very awkward girl. Mm-hmm. Which is fine if that's the role that she's playing, but she doesn't play it. And I know I went to go watch The Breaking Dawn Part 1, and literally, when she found out that disclaimer, this is, you know...
Oh, spoiler?
Spoiler alert, yes. She found out that she was pregnant, and you know how she found out? She was throwing up in the toilet, and then she stood up, looked at the mirror, and then she's like, oh, I felt a kick. So that's literally how she acted.
Do you know the show I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant?
Yes.
Do you think she would fit?
Yeah.
And also, you're not a fan of Ellen DeGeneres, are you?
No.
Oh, because if fans of Ellen are watching right now, she has a video. She puts herself in the Twilight movie. You've seen that when she's in the bathtub? You gotta admit that was funny.
It was funny.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. But the only awkward thing is when Bella is trying to tell Edward, I think I might be pregnant, she's like, oh, I felt a kick.
Yeah.
That's literally how she acts.
She kind of...
The only thing that saved her butt throughout that fourth movie was all the special effects. Like, the baby supposedly takes all of the nutrients that are supposed to go to the rest of her body and just brings it right to her stomach. So they're getting her ready to go take a bath, and the baby is only born, or like only being produced within a couple months, not the whole 9.5 months thing. So she goes to take a shower, and you can see all of her ribs and her backbone. It's nasty, but special effects, and when she dies, it's even better.
You say special effects helped her. Do you think Taylor Lautner and Robert Pattinson helped her at all? Were they strong? I've never seen the movies, so I apologize. But
they're much better than her.
Did they save her as well, like the special effects did, like you said? Do you think without those two, or at least one of them, do you think she would have been able to pull off?
I think that they're so much better than she is that they hurt her. That they overshadow her being.
Because she's put out to be the star of the movie.
And she's not.
But all people talk about is Team Edward, Team Jacob. There's no Team Bella.
So, you have to think about who's really the star.
Right. Yeah, because you see Kayla Lautner and stuff, you see Ron Pattinson everywhere. You don't see a lot of Kirsten Stewart. At least not to my knowledge.
Right.
What are the Twilight fans called her? Do they have a name?
They don't. They have, like...
Twihards? Is that what they call it? Twihards? Or something like that?
Yes.
All your Twihards, I'm sorry for all this Twilight bashing, but that's what you get from interesting conversation here.
And I'm not going to lie, I used to be a very bad Twilight Hard fan.
Yeah.
Twihard, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And my room...
She has texted me when she's in line for the movies or when it comes on DVD. She has texted me when she's been in line, so she was a very diehard fan.
Not to mention, my bedroom was painted like the Twilight thing. We painted all of my walls dark blue except for one, which has a big moon in it and a wolf in it. We painted my bureau to have the little apple, the chest piece, the ribbon, and the flower. And literally, I made little glass pieces, like, I tipped the glasses upside down so they would, like, flutter out the bottom and come up, to hold an apple, to hold a flower, to have a ribbon go around one of them, and then to have a chest piece.
You say you're not a Twilight fan. Are you going to see the last one?
Oh yeah, I'm doing it for all of them, but I'm not going to say it's going to be good or anything. I think it might be, the last two will be the better of all of them, and I think what they need to do is go back and redo them, because they've had 3 or 4 different directors for every single one.
Right. That's maybe why everything's so screwed up. It's not the same direction.
If you look at it, the first one has a very blue feeling to it. Like everything is almost like a blue hue. The second one is very yellowish orange. The third one...
Not much color.
Right. Well, no, it has color. It's just normal. And so is the last one. Those two are the only ones that actually make it feel like, oh, hey, these belong together. These two are just random.
Right.
They don't belong.
Now, we talked about 3D earlier, and going into this new year, obviously we're in May of 2012, going into June. There's been an overabundance of 3D movies. There's so many other great movies that are coming out. What do you expect to see in 2012? Do you see, anything like Hunger Games obviously came out? That's the new sensation. Do you think there's any other series that that's coming out that's gonna, become something big?
I believe Hunger Games are gonna have the second one coming out,
Mm-hmm.
not shortly, but within the next year. I think that will be out in theaters. I know that when it comes out on DVD, pretty much everybody's gonna buy a copy.
Oh yeah.
It's just gonna happen.
We know the second Dark Knight comes out in July.
Does it?
Yes. I believe it's the final one that they're doing. At least the director, whoever he is, I forget. I apologize. That's the last movie he's gonna be directing with the Batman series. I'm a huge fan of Dark Knight, the original, so I'm probably gonna be seeing this one. So that's probably gonna be something big as well. And here, I just want to ask: you seen the Dark Knight, the first one?
Yes.
Do you think it would have been as popular as without Heath Ledger?
No, I think it would
Without
be...
Heath Ledger dying, I should say. Because that got a lot of attention when he died.
I think it would have just stayed the same.
Because he got Oscar nominations, he got Golden Globes and all that. And got such a huge response from it.
If they had made 2 of them with him before he had passed away, it would have made an even bigger fan base if he had passed away after those.
Because he's not in the second one, obviously.
Right, yeah.
It's a different character, it's a different villain, so do you think there's going to be that disconnect from fans who liked the first one with the Joker, how good he was? Now I think it's Bane, is the villain.
I don't know.
If you've seen Batman and Robin, he was the big guy in the mask. Anyways, yes, that's the villain, I'm not even kidding. But without Heath Ledger, I don't think it's going to be as popular as the first one.
No.
What else is coming out in 2012? I don't remember.
I think what they're going to do next
Mm.
have you seen the Shrek movies?
Yes. I have all 4, actually.
I love those movies. Like, I don't want them to end. That's the only movie sensation that I would literally kill to have not
watch
end.
one more time.
Right.
But the 4th one was the final one. That they claim, because never say never in the movie business, because they weren't going to make a Scream 4. They made a Scream 4. So, I think it's hard to say about Shrek. It's hard to say if they'll ever come back.
But they also made a Puss in Boots one.
Yes.
They could go back and make Donkey or Fiona's backstory.
Oh yeah, I think that would work. At the same time, they could bring back the Shrek characters into Puss in Boots if they wanted to.
I haven't seen the Puss in Boots ones. I really want to. I just never got the chance.
I have seen that. In my opinion, Puss in Boots fits in this conversation. Actually, it's a 2011 movie. As a Shrek fan like you are, I think all the Shrek fans who want to watch Puss in Boots, in my opinion, I don't think that's the character they should have gone with their own movie. Because it's only been a few movies. I liked the movie, but it wasn't as good as Shrek. If anything, they should have done, like, your idea is maybe Donkey have a movie. I think he was one of the popular characters. I think he overshadowed Shrek. Maybe Fiona's backstory, maybe, or any other ones.
The only issue is that you have all these characters that work so well together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be hard.
And I think that's why, because Puss in Boots in my opinion, was not a strong character in Shrek. It was a strong character, but it had Shrek to bounce off of. It had Donkey to bounce off from.
Right. Him and Donkey go back and forth.
Here, he had new characters to bounce off from that people don't know necessarily. Like Humpty Dumpty's in this movie. People know him. Like there's he stays with the fairy tale characters, but there's no backstory or anything like Shrek had, like all that. And I think that's where the disconnect was for the Puss in Boots movie.
Right.
That about wraps it up for today.
I think so.
It was a very good episode. It's very good to be back.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time, and I apologize for those who've been waiting for us. Let's talk about our next episode that's going to be coming up. It's another franchise that's taken the world by storm, almost by accident, really. The Paranormal Activity series.
Yeah.
The first one, very low budget, made millions, spawned off 2 sequels with a 4th one coming out in October, but we'll talk about the next episode. We're going to talk about how those movies have impacted this movie industry and how necessarily the Blair Witch Project helped. That's going to be the next episode. Until then, you can go to a bunch of our websites. You want to give one?
Make sure to check us out on Facebook. What's That Movie?
Yep, facebook.com/What's That Movie, as you see will be on the screen here. Follow us on Twitter at, I believe, What's That Movie _, I believe. If not, it's going to be fixed up here. And also on YouTube.
Yep. And make sure to follow both Norman and I on YouTube. Here are
yep,
our links.
Our links.
So,
We also have Facebook accounts, YouTube accounts. We'll put the
All
stuff we can't fix. Just click like the little arrow down below us in the info box, I think it is. We'll have our information, our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter accounts right under there, so you can friend us, subscribe to us, and follow us, right?
Right.
Okay, that was it. Until next time, America, this has been Norman.
I'm Kayla Marie.
We'll see you next time when we talk about the Paranormal Activity series.
See ya.